Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of One Legacy Podcast. And today I have the honor of our wonderful guest, Jazmin, joining us today from Team Legacy. Jazmin, welcome.
Thanks, Andy.
Yes, this is actually a podcast that I was really anticipating, and a lot of people were also waiting for this video to drop. So don't have to wait no more. It's here, so pay attention. So today we're going to get very nitty-gritty into the ins and outs of Jazmin and her journey from her previous team at Raspberry Realty, and then joining forces with us at Team Legacy, and now part of our wonderful team. So we just want to share a little bit about, the journey, how that process went on a, I guess, psychological, mental, how that was processed, because a lot of big things in life and a lot of, we'll say, transformations happens with a lot of consideration.
Yeah.
And also there's going to be elements of fear, a little bit of excitement, and a bit of that leap of faith mentality. So why don't we get right into it?
Yay. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So Jazmin, so what I'm going to ask you first is going back to Raspberry Realty. So you had already built a successful brand and a team at Raspberry Realty.
Mm-hmm.
What was the moment or realization that made you seriously consider stepping away from something you had built and taking a leap of faith into something new?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it did take a lot of consideration. I wouldn't say there was a single moment. It was a couple of little moments and little things in like the universe, if you could put it that way, conversations with various people. And as an entrepreneur, we're always looking to like, how do I make things better? How can I improve? How do I improve the client journey? How do I improve how I serve my team members? So there's a lot of learning that goes along in the background, and you're like, okay, this worked, this didn't. How do we adjust? How do we move forward? How do we grow? So there was a lot I took into consideration for over a year with even looking outside the box and making a big move like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
absolutely. And I would say this is where the difference maker is between a top producer or an entrepreneur, is a lot of times we know that the change is good, but a lot of times we let the feeling of anxiety or uncertainty really get in the way of taking action, whether it's to take action towards one direction or an action towards another direction versus just staying put. Sometimes staying put might also be the best decision.
Mm-hmm.
However, if we're looking at bettering, like what you mentioned, bettering the client journey, providing a higher level of customer service, providing the best training and leverage and support for team members, I'm sure a lot of you would agree that it's one thing to grow, but another thing to scale.
Yes.
And scaling does require, I would say, different processes, different leverage points with people, and also different personality types and unique abilities, because we don't know what other people may know. And we definitely are, our unique ability is very specialized as well. We're great at what we do.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like, how do we lend and leverage other people's expertise and be able to better and create synergy? Because let's take, for example, if I needed the expertise of a doctor, one way to do it is I could go to med school, medicine, practice it, which I've never not made up for a doctor. Call it a limited belief or not, but I just know my lane.
Yeah.
I could certainly go down that path and it may take me, 8 years of schooling and then another 2 years of residency. And maybe if I make it out, then I could practice medicine. But that's 10 years at the minimum of time. And one of the things that we do at Team Legacy, and that really just sparked this whole transformation even within our team and within leadership group, is that how do we better leverage others where we can experience this so-called quantum leap of productivity?
Yeah.
And not just be our best version of ourselves, because sometimes the best version of yourself is still not enough.
Yep.
Right, Jazz?
We can't do it all.
No, and that's where if you can get the best versions of people that have the skill sets that you may not have, either by choice or because it's not practical or time, it take a long time to acquire that skill set. Why not just join forces? Why not just collaborate and partner up with people that have that? If I needed a skill of a doctor, I could go and seek the skill of a doctor versus being a doctor myself.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where we really appreciate the talent of Jazz, in the sense that she is such an incredible human being, first and foremost, because that's what we really want to pride ourselves in and focus on, because as you know, an organization or a successful business needs a good core group.
Yeah.
It needs good culture.
So important.
Right?
So important.
So this is all those things that Jazz has that we've seen in her that really, no pun intended, but jazzes things up for our team, because the different unique flavors, personality, the passion, the enthusiasm, the different perspective, right? Like we don't know everything, and we constantly want to learn from one another, and what better to do that by creating diversity.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So
it's important. And I was just laughing because you were like talking about how why not jump in with someone else? Like, why not utilize other people? And it's literally Aaron calling me. So, hey, why not?
That's actually very true. Yeah.
And it makes you think, and it's good to think about things.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I think the why not does open up pathway thinking.
Yes.
To be like, well, never thought about that. What if, let's hypothetically look at it. If it were to happen, what would that actually even look like?
Yes.
What would that feel like?
Yes.
How would that change your situation on all levels, personally and professionally?
Yeah.
And maybe you come to the same conclusion that, hey, staying put is better, or maybe taking another route completely different is better. And that's okay. At least you thought about it, right?
Yeah.
You considered it. And I think a lot of people never really put the time to really think about different, pathways. And that's where they feel stuck, because it's usually one or two pathways that they allow themselves with. And I think that's where a lot of real estate agents that come into the industry, I think their choice is, and just my personal opinion is, either they make it or they don't. It's either I'm right for real estate or I'm not right for real estate.
Right.
And I think that to come to that, it's very general in a sense where it's like, well, it's not the entire picture. Like, I think you got to give yourself more credit than that, where you're actually really good in certain aspects of real estate. But if you were to, get the right support and mentorship in the other areas that maybe you're not so good at, you leverage others, then maybe your business will look completely different.
Yeah.
And maybe that outcome and pathway that you take is not to leave the industry, but is to thrive in the industry.
Yeah. And make a shift.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Jazz, this is getting very interesting. Things are heating up here. So for many leaders, their team becomes part of their identity, right? As you know, identity, I know, is very important to you. So how difficult was it to separate yourself from the Raspberry Realty brand and embrace becoming part of a larger vision with Team Legacy?
Yeah. I will be really honest and vulnerable, Andy. That was the absolute hardest piece of all of this. As many of you might know, obviously, I had a large brand built on a very obvious color. And I literally will drive through the Starbucks in my pink vehicle and be like, oh, you're the Raspberry Realty, you're the pink realtor. Like, it was very much enmeshed in what I had built. And I was really excited about it. It was fun and it was girly and it was my baby. And so to really consider like, giving it up in a sense is a grieving process. It's you let go, you have to like, be grateful for it and say goodbye. And that was really what was the hardest thing, for sure. Cause I'm like, you battle as an entrepreneur too, like how people see you in the space, in the industry, is important in some ways. And it's like, okay, if I do this, are people going to think it's because I failed and I'm trying to claw my way out or whatever it is, right? Like people talk. And so it was really hard for me to work through that. I talked a lot with my husband and my other team members that also like came over to Team Legacy, and we had a lot of conversations about that piece specifically. So yeah, it was difficult, but at the end of the day, um, my brand is who I am as a person and what people say behind your back, as my coach, Ben Oosterveld, would say. It's what's happening behind your back. And so, physical, digital things like that are not really the brand. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I can let that piece go and get on board with building a larger vision and ultimately like my goals for myself and my family and where I want to be in the future, which is really what's important. So yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
thanks for sharing that. I know that there's a lot there to unpack. Just
Mhm.
because we take a lot of pride and we're, as entrepreneurs, we try to stay consistent with the actions that we invest in, either on a personal level or in the public's eye.
Mhm.
And I think to be consistent, that's where you create brand value and brand authority. Sure, a lot of you could relate to that. Um, so that's definitely one of the mindset shifts and perspectives that I would say a lot of people can get over, or believe that, without the brand that they're no longer who they are.
Yeah.
And that in a way affects their success rate and their business.
Yeah.
A lot of you understand and already know this, that previously I was in luxury car sales, and a lot of car salespeople, including myself, thought that, hey, the brand is what brought in the business. But later I found that it's actually more than that. The brand might get the client through the door, but they still have a choice.
Yeah.
And if you can't represent the brand or represent value to the marketplace, doesn't matter what the brand behind you is, they're still not gonna, you know, be able to really connect the dots in terms of why they should work with you
Yeah.
and why they should do business with you.
Yeah.
So that's where once I realized that I was more the brand, but more so focusing on just delivering like enormous, massive
Yeah.
value, then I just found that people came with me no matter where I went.
Totally.
Right? It didn't
Yeah.
matter if I was with, a certain car manufacturer or if I was at a certain brokerage. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Very surprisingly, some clients like, what company are you with?
Yeah. I have
And
no
that's like,
idea.
yeah, I have no idea. This is like even like the long before the deal is closed and the transaction's already been made. And that's where, yeah, the relationship aspect of it is a key piece here. And if you can get over that, hey, it is the brand that is the make or break of my success in business and my the value I bring to relationships,
Yeah.
then it's no longer as heavy, I think,
Totally.
or hard to really understand that, hey, it's not it's not a death of something and a rebirth of another.
Yeah.
It's really the same person, same thing, but just shining brighter,
Yeah.
right? and being able to offer more to the people that we love to serve.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, love that. So this is going to be like a growth question here, Jazz.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready.
So as an icon agent and team leader, what limitations or ceilings were you starting to see that made you believe your future growth could actually be bigger inside a collaborative environment than by continuing on your
hmm Another great question. I would say the biggest piece is time, like physical time. Time is the most valuable asset we have. We can't make more of it. And every person has their own limitations with what they can do with their time, whether that's physical abilities, intellectual abilities, etc. And I was running into a time issue. And I have shifting priorities with where I want my time to be placed. And so I was like, okay, I need to do XYZ, systemize, scale so I can buy back my time. But that also will take time to get that set up. And so I was at this really weird point of like, okay, we're ready to grow. We had, goals set for the next year, ready to grow. Things were like trending upward. It was really exciting. And then all of these things happen in my life in various capacities, personal and professional. And it was like, how is this going to come together? And I don't want to sacrifice myself and burn out because I've done that before. So hence the conversation with Aaron happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Time is something that is so, it's such a powerful topic that either could, time could be something that you put a limitation on yourself as well,
Yeah.
where time is always constantly flowing forward. So what we do or what we choose to do with the time is, in a way, being exhausted every single moment or day. So
Yeah.
I think as an entrepreneur, because we're not paid, on the hour,
No.
we want to make sure that our time is put to the highest usage,
Yeah.
where we create productivity. And with productivity also means building a business that creates impact and value to the most amount of people without sacrificing quality,
Yeah.
and doing 100 things at any given moment, because those 100 different things are important things,
Yep.
right? They're
You don't want to drop any of those balls. They have to
no,
all stay up.
yeah, or else it's gonna come crashing down like a house of cards. And as a business, that's one of the fears, I think, at least for myself. It's like, hey, if one thing goes, does it create a domino effect where the things continue to not go the way that it needs to go?
Yeah.
And in there's actually a terminology for that, is you get yourself into the mindset or the zone of the gap.
hmm
And then with that, to get you back into the gain, where things are more looked at as more positively, more on an abundance level versus more on a scarcity level. It's hard sometimes because as humans, emotions are involved, and fear and anxiety are could be very debilitating, and it could handicap you, right? In terms of like taking no action, or not knowing if you should take an action because that action might come with a negative consequence.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like,
They sure can.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So the fear is real, and it kind of keeps you at where you are. But the quote says, as cliche as is, like, successful people act despite of fear. It's not in the absence of fear,
Yeah.
right? And I think we've all gone through that in different capacities, and you're going through that as persistent goes. And
Yeah.
yeah, again, that massive threshold that you broke through to get over to, like you said, let go of the brand, the ego aspect of it, and
hmm
look at the situation differently. I think that's where it put you into the gain very quickly. And now you're thinking of building and creating and collaborating, doing more than what we can do as individuals.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that.
More fun that way.
All right. So I know that I know this, but some of you out there who are just tuning into this podcast or to Team Legacy, our team here, might not know, but Jazz, you just didn't make the move, for yourself. I know that you also brought Bree over with you.
Yes.
I love Bree,
My
by the way.
girl.
Yeah, shout out to Bree. What gave you enough confidence and trust to say, I believe this is the right place for the both of us?
Um, I had a really honest conversation with my team when I was looking at making a transition. I started a team for a variety of reasons. And one of that is that I found with women in the industry, there wasn't the same kind of collaboration or support. And so I wanted to be a space where we could work together and be supportive and help each other. And so I didn't want to just make a decision only for me. It also, I realized, is going to impact other people and people that I've poured a lot into, and I want to see them succeed. So I had a conversation and put all of the cards on the table and was like, this is something I've looked at. Here's the differences. Here's the similarities. This is what it would look like potentially. What do you think about it? I want your opinion because she's seen me live my life for a couple years now. And we all have our different perspectives. And so I was like, give me your honest opinion, and we looked at and reviewed things together. And one of the key things for both of us was alignment with core values, core belief systems of support, collaboration, honesty, vulnerability, and really working alongside each other in a good culture. And it's really cliche, like, oh, we all have the best culture. I've been in a lot of spaces in this industry, and it's actually really hard to find that truly. And she had already built some relationships with other people on the team, just through the brokerage and being collaborative in that space. And so she was really on board with like, hey, these people are quality humans. I've gotten to know them already as well. And I really give her her flowers too. She's like, I trust you as well. We've built a good relationship. We've been through a lot together. She's like, if this is something that makes sense, and you, because she didn't know, yourself or David really, or even Joe really. She's like, if you also have trust for them, then I also trust you. So we had a good relationship ourselves. And when you have a good friendship and a good business relationship, and you trust each other, then you can trust what their decision making is and rely on each other. And so we kind of just jumped in together, and she's killing it. I'm like I'm so
Yes,
happy
she
for
is.
her. I knew that she could do this and grow, and I didn't want to be the reason that she was being held back either. I knew that she needed more than I could give her. So,
Wow,
yeah.
did you guys hear that? Like that coming from a leader. I can't say very many leaders that I know will look at the picture that way and look at decision making that way because it's a very selfless action, right? And it's beyond your own self. And I think that stems from not just Jazz's experience in real estate, but her core values to the main core of things, right? Like that's where I said Jazz is an amazing human being. That's what I mean, right? It's very deep. It's not just surface level. Like that's what we value. And that's one thing that an element that we look for within partners. And it doesn't matter, their experience or their skill set so much because those things could be acquired.
Hmm.
But it's really fundamentally like who you are as a human being that like from there, how can we collaborate and align with one another in a very meaningful and impactful way
Yeah.
to do more, be more, and be better, right?
And that's why it felt like such a good decision, because there was that alignment with you guys as well, right? Like whoever I associate myself with, it impacts my business. Is very important to be aligned with people that have those values. And I'm so grateful to be alongside you guys for this ride. It's helped me grow so much already.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty cool.
amazing. That's amazing. So thanks for also introducing Bree to us, because like yourself, Bree brings another element of value, personality,
She's
right, to the
amazing.
group. Like, she's so amazing. Like, another, like, such an authentic person, and you just have to get to know her at a level. And she's so transparent, open book. She's like a person that wears her heart in the sleeve. So amazing. Um, I guess the last question I want to ask you, Jazz, is like, looking back now, what would you say to other high performing agents or team leaders
Mhm.
who know they want something bigger, but are afraid to let go of what they've already built?
Excellent question again, Andy. He does his homework. Okay, so I think what I would share with people is always be open-minded.
Mm,
I think we like, especially in this industry, there can be a lot of ego. We need to be feeling like we're right, what we're doing is the right thing, and that we've got it figured out. We don't want people to see us, questioning ourselves or looking and making changes, because that means, oh, again, did I do something wrong? Did I screw it up or whatever? I think you need to be open minded. Look outside the box of what you've built. This came about when Aaron called me. He's like, "Are you open to?" I was like, "I'm open to any conversation because I can't know what I don't know, and I can't make decisions if I don't have knowledge to base them off of." So I'm always open. I had other conversations with other larger teams throughout the last year as well. This is not the only group of agents that I talk to. And it's not because I was searching. I'm just, some people call. It's like, hey, want to have a chat? Great. I would love to. If it doesn't feel like the right fit, then it isn't. That's fine. So I would say be open-minded, look outside the box, um, you know, put your ego aside, really honestly, bluntly, put your ego aside and really focus on what you want for your life to look like, right? As Ben, my coach, said, build a life you love. I feel like we can get really stuck in this like hamster wheel of chasing a deal, having to like look like the winner, the top person, posting on social media, um, and all of these things. And not that any of that is bad. It's important to market ourselves, obviously, but don't get caught in this box of like needing to fit into it and look a certain way, and look at what you actually want and what your values are truly. Because like long term, your physical health, your mental health, and long term financial health is really important. And this can be a very hard business to stay in financially as well, even if you look successful. There's a lot of broke, successful realtors out there. And I know that for a fact. So, yeah, be open minded, have conversations, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah.
very true. Recently, I'll share with you guys. I watched this TikTok video, which is very impactful. I don't remember who the author or the creator of the video is, but very inspirational speaker. He was saying that, did you know that there's it's called monarch butterflies? Have you heard of it? Monarch butterflies?
Yep.
So what they do apparently, and this is new to me, is every season they would travel from Canada to a specific forest in Mexico, over 3,000
It's
miles,
crazy. That's so
right?
far
It's very far. It's
for a
very far
butterfly.
for
That's
butterflies, right?
tiny.
So the butterflies, when they first start out, and by the way, none of these butterflies that start out, they actually get to see the destination. So when they fly, they actually, they get a certain distance and they will die, right? They will have their offsprings and they will die. And after one generation, two generation, and the fourth generation is when they make it.
Crazy.
And they're only basing off, the sun and the Earth's magnetic field and whatever is encoded in them,
Oh my goodness.
in them to go the right direction, go towards the right direction,
Crazy.
right? And then that's where the message primarily that he was sharing with everyone was a lot of times what we do today in our lives, um, the certain benefits of our actions we don't get to experience. It's actually our kids and their kids that they get to experience
Yeah.
our actions and the seasons that we go through. And but they just know that, you know, they're at that destination, and they have a lot to thank for, but they don't truly know who they're thanking.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing is about creating a meaningful legacy,
Yeah.
right? And that's where, when he put it, I'm like, man, that's something that I couldn't put it as eloquently as how he shared the story of the butterfly, because 4 generations
Yeah.
to get to the destination, and just believing that that's the direction that I need to go, and every action and everything that's good that we're contributing to moving forward is what we're going to do. And knowing that we might not get there, but it's every generation that pushes the next generation to go in the same direction of building and seeing and believing in the vision that one day, just one day, that we'll get there. And I think that's kind of how life is,
Yeah.
right? Like, we don't know how long we have to live in this lifetime, you know, on this earth,
Yeah.
but we're doing the things, everything that we can to build that legacy, to build the resources, and to leave behind the teachings and the education that we were once taught by our parents, that we're continuing the tradition of educating our kids in hope that they will also continue the mission and following the vision of our forefathers and the people that came before us. Right? And I think
Pretty
that's
cool.
really what it is. And it's like, hey, if my great grandkids, your great grandkids are able to reap the benefits of our sacrifices of today,
Yeah.
I think that's, and they don't need to know who
They
it
might
came
not know
from.
it,
And
but
that's okay, I
yeah.
think. I think that's okay. And we left an impact, I think, and we left a mark on
Yeah.
this world that now outlives the memories that of us,
Yeah.
right? So such a
That's
beautiful.
cool.
If I'll find out who that author is for that video, and I'll make sure I leave it in the description. But I just want to say, Jazz, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such an honor, such a pleasure, and such an amazing opportunity to share this time and space with you.
Yeah.
Because as we know, time is the most valuable asset.
It is.
And to share with you, my friend, I think is something that really elevates, and I just feel so grateful for. Like, it just makes me feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's no reason for just feeling good. I think when you're in alignment, it just feels good.
Yeah.
And I think if you're around good people, you are good. Like, it just makes you want to continue to have an impact on people on a deeper level that's just beyond, hey, I know you're a realtor. I know you're from this team. I know one of your favorite colors is pink. I know you drive a pink car. Like, beyond that,
Yeah.
you know, I do encourage you, if you guys don't know who Jazmin is, reach out to Jazmin. If you're a realtor that's maybe struggling or needing to bounce some ideas, having a sounding board, Jazmin is more than happy to go for coffee with you, and you get to meet her as an individual, and really find out for yourself how authentic she is. And because I get that every day. So I'm very spoiled, but I hopefully don't hesitate to reach out. But Jazmin,
Yeah.
really appreciate you again.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time. Thanks for your belief in our team. Thanks for bringing Bree over. I'm so excited to see how bright the future is with you and us as
Yes.
a team. And like I said, we're so honored to have you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be part of such a great group of humans and be able to grow my vision and be a better version of myself always. Thank you for having me. This is
Amazing.
so exciting and so fun.
Amazing. Amazing.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. For more of this content, guys, of One Legacy Podcast, please stay tuned for the next video drop. As mentioned, we will have future guests and future speakers that will be on this podcast, hopefully to enlighten you and also inspire you to be the best version of yourself and surround yourself with the best version people that will help you both personally and professionally, because you don't have to do business alone. Till next time, we'll see you again. Take care.
One legacy. We came from the same.